Rabbi Garber to say a few words. There we go.
Good morning and Bishus. Thank you. Bishus, my mommy and daddy, Bishus, Rabbi Shisler. Hine Matov, Monaim, Sheves Achim, and Achot. B'yachad, that is so wonderful sitting together. What we're doing here is actually we are defeating anti-Semitism. I mentioned this last week in Beit HaLimud. Those who were there, we're all wiring at the moment. How are we going to get rid of anti-Semitism? We're doing it right now here in this room now, that we're davening together, learning together, eating together, schmoozing together, and the idea is from last week's Sedja, in b'chuko saitelechu. If you, the Jewish people, go in the ways of Hashem and keep His mitzvahs, hang out together, be together, then nasati shalom ba'aretz, I have peace in the land, and you won't be able to lie down, you won't be afraid, and then all the blessings will come. This is the way I mentioned last week. It's so simple. We've got this question hanging over us: how do we get rid of anti-Semitism? Become more Jewish, get more involved, do what we're doing now. So I want to give a blessing to this wonderful minyan, this gathering together. Which we finished last week, and now we're going to start the new Sedra of book of Bamidbar. I want to share with you a Nesiva Shalom. Nesiva Shalom is the Slonim Rebbe, and I've been learning Nesiva Shalom for a number of years. It's such a beautiful chassidut, the main themes of Emunah and Devekut, which is a close clinging to Hashem. And this essay which he writes at the beginning of this Sedra is one of my favorites. He's got three questions. I've got the sort of the summary of the shir, which you can take afterwards, and including spelling mistakes. They're free. So you get that. There's notice one just before. Anyway, it's called Flags of Love, and the three questions that he asks on this beginning of this week's Sedra is: number one, we have 88 verses at the beginning of the Sedra which are very, very repetitious. It's nice for a Balkora because it just goes round and round. Very simple. It's very it's like a pattern to the laning. You mention the numbers and then the name of the tribe, and the numbers. So it does almost two countings. First of all, individually each tribe and the numbers, and then it almost recounts them again by saying, and these three were together, and they're on this side, and this are the numbers and the names, and then goes another three, and it shows you where they fit around the camp. So we have 88 verses, and this is the first question. The Torah is nitzchi, it's forever, and this counting was chad pa'ami. It was only once they had this count in the deserts. So why do we have so much information? And not only that, it's always repeated again for 88 verses, whereas, for example, when we have to fill in, we have a very few details about that, and that's something we do every day, or not every day, but almost every day, part of Shabbos Yom Tov. It says, put a sign in your arm and in between your eyes, etc., and there's almost no details. Here we've got 88 verses just giving names and numbers, and we're going to do that a few times in the book of Numbers as well. So that's the first question. The first question is, why so many verses to describe something which is so repetitious? The second question he asks is, there is a midrash. We're about to come to Shavuos, and the midrash tells us when the Jewish people at Mount Sinai, they looked up and they experienced seeing the angels. And what did the angels have? Flags. Oh, they made the winds as well. But they had flags. They were waving flags. And at that moment, the Midrash tells us that the Jewish people became very jealous. And they said, we want flags. We want flags. Or something like that. Yeah. The children in the playground. We want flags. So they were asking for flags as well. So the second question is, why do the Jewish people want the flags which the angels had? Yeah. The third question, in Shir Hashirim, in the second chapter, it says, "Ahavi ani el beis ahayayin v'diglo alai ahava." So bring me to the wine house, which we understand is Mount Sinai. The Midrash says is Mount Sinai. V'diglo alai ahava, and they were clustered my encampments with flags of love. So there's a reference here in Shir Hashirim to the concept that flags have got something to do with love. And the third question is, in the famous philosopher, she asked this question: what's love got to do with it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. It's very good. Tina Turner. Speak to her now. Tina Turner. What's love got to do? Say what? Reverson Turner. Yeah, Reverson Turner. Yeah, Reverson Turner said, "What's love got to do it?" So we got three questions. The first question is what? Somebody help me, so you can earn your croissant. The first question is what? The first question I asked. No. The first question: why do we have 88 verses? We have the numbers, and then they repeat again to tell us where each tribe was with those numbers as well. That's the first question. The second question is why was the Jewish people, why do they want flags so much? And the third question is what's flags got to do with love? Yeah, those are the three questions. So the answer is as follows, and actually witnessed this yesterday in a therapy session, is that when we know our purpose and place in life, then that is really the basis of the concept of love, which I'm going to expand on, or the astronomer Rabbi expands on. One of the most painful things we can be involved in life is not knowing who we are and what our place is in this world. And I had a young lady in the therapy session yesterday, and she was basically saying that. She was an 18-year-old young lady. I said, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know here. Unfortunately, she was, she's in a situation, that's why she's in the hospital. She's suicidal. And she doesn't feel a sense of purpose in this world. When we can discover, even on a small level, or even on an idea on a high level, know exactly this is who I am and this is what my purpose is, then all of a sudden we find a sense of love within us and also within other people as well. So I'm just thinking this moment now, I can feel the love in the room because everyone of us knows our purpose here. My purpose is at the moment, it's not always a purpose, is to be here talking, giving a share. Your purpose, or hopefully, is to be here as friends of each other, listening to a share, participating. So at the moment, I've got a sense of connection. I know exactly what I'm doing here at this moment now in this point. There might be other things going on the rest of the day or the rest of my life. But at this moment, I'm feeling a sense I'm here. This is what my purpose is. This is what I'm doing. Now, if we can feel this on a grander scale, knowing exactly what I'm doing here in this world, this planet, for however many years we're going to be here, that is the ultimate expression of love to ourselves, and that will lead on to love to other people as well. We find that a person who has purpose in life has no time for depression, no time for boredom, no time for frustration, no time for flicking on YouTube and doing that. They have a purpose and exactly what that's going on. And even if difficult things come along, they will be able to go through it because they're prepared to go through things. They know I can get through this because I'm here in this world to do X, Y, and Z. So this is the idea, and so now we have an understanding of the first the number of the questions. Why is it that we have so many verses in this set describing first of all why the individual tribes and then where they fit in with the rest? So the idea being is at the beginning of Bamidbar, we have the idea that the Jewish people need to know that each one of you is an individual tribe. You've got your own purpose here, number one. Number two, the next 40 or so verses repeats it all again to tell us not only that you have a purpose, this is where you fit in. This is the way you fit in, and you should know exactly where you are on the encampments. When we know that, number one, step number one, who I am and where I fit in, this brings love. There's no jealousy because I know this is my purpose, and I know that the tribe of Reuben is there, and that's what they're doing. So we can actually facilitate ourselves and each other in our purpose because we're camped around the Torah, and really that's the metaphor of when we come around Mount Sinai. We're all around Mount Sinai. Our purpose is connection to God. How do we do that? Through the Torah, and we each know our place and where we fit in. Now, there's a fascinating progression of the months that we have our journey between Pesach and Shavuot. So we go through three months. What are the 3 months we journey through from Pesach to Shavuot? Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan. And each of those 3 months have a star sign, and the star signs are based on Kabbalah. The star sign of Nisan is Aries. Yeah, the Teleh, the ram. Yeah, and then we get to the main month, which is of the count of the Omer, which is Taurus. Yeah, Taurus. Yeah, the bull. Taurus, not Taurus. Not Taurus. And then when we get to the month of Nisan, the star sign is Sivan is What is the twins, Gemini? Yeah. So it writes here that this is the progression that we go through. When we leave Egypt, we are like sheep following into the deserts. We're just followers. We are a people, but we don't really know our purpose. We just follow into the desert. The main bulk of the journey between Pesach and Shavuot is the month of Iyar. Iyar is the bull. Yeah, when I used to live in Shendi, we used to the farms around us. We usually a bull would be by itself in the field, and that idea is the individuality during the month, and the bulk of the journey between Pesach and Shavuot is about working on ourselves. What is my individual purpose in this world? And that is represented with the bull. I need to work on myself, find out what it is. Am I meant to be doing this, am I doing that? Whatever my purpose is, I need to find that out. But knowing who I am individually is not good enough. The second stage is I need to know who I am vis-a-vis the rest of the community. And that's why we get to Gemini. Gemini is the twins, which represents me and the rest of the community. And those two things come together. So we have this progression of from Pesach to Shavuot, of knowing that we're part of a mass. We need to find out what my individual task is within that. However, that's not good enough. I need to know where I fit into the rest of the people. So we now hopefully answered our questions. These 88 verses at the beginning of Sedra is not something with just repetitious verses. We've been all giving all this Shabbos, we're hearing all these verses. So when you listen to it, listen to the idea that wow, this tribe has this, this has their purpose, etc., etc. And as we're going through the verses, knowing what my purpose is and where I fit into other people, fit into the Jewish people, and that is the idea of love, as we mentioned before, and that's why we wanted flags. Flags is the idea of identity. I know who I am, just like each angel. In fact, the malach, the word malach is from the word malacha. Malacha means a purposeful, creative job. That's what malacha is. And malach is each malach has his or her, or it has each malach has their particular purpose. And similarly, that is what we were desiring on Mount Sinai. So my blessing for us is, as we're coming to the festival of Shavuot, we've got just a few days to go. May Hashem bless us to have a clarity of what our purpose is in this world and where we fit into the Jewish people. Find it for ourselves, how other people facilitate that, and Hashem should bless us with a wonderful Shavuos full of blessings, full of cheesecake, and full of inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shlomo, for that. I'll say goodbye to those of you on Zoom, and we'll finish off the proceedings here.